gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, beef. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
One style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. Man, it has been one awesome Sunday already. The NFL Week 1, not quite in the books. We got 2 games left to go. Of course, we got here in just a little bit, we got Dodgers not Dodgers. I'm thinking baseball. We got the Lions and the Rams taking off. Tomorrow night, we got Jets and 49ers. So that'll be getting ready to go. Obviously, this is the time of the year where we recap all the crazy stuff that happened in last night's game or this week's games. Right before NFL, the noon games kicked off, we get big word. Dak Prescott's deal is done. So much for they couldn't pay, Dak, CD, and Micah Parsons, right? We kept saying they'll figure it, but then they figured it out. And now they're paying Dak Prescott. The guy got another 4-year deal, $230 million guaranteed, 240 of it. Now, listen to this list, folks, and a new high leader. This is a tweet from Adam Schefter. A new high leader, highest paid QBs in the NFL are per basis. Dak Prescott at $60 million. Joe Burrow and Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, all tied for second at $55 million. Jared Goff, $53 million. Justin Herbert, $52 million. Lamar Jackson, $52 million. Or Herbert's $52.5. Jalen Hurts, $51 million. You know what all those guys have in common? They have a combined zero Super Bowl wins. I mean, shoot, they probably have maybe 10 playoff wins total, right? Dak Prescott's won, 2 playoff games? Joe Burrow's won 3 playoff games, so that's already, we're at 8. We're at 4. Tua's never won a playoff game. Jared Goff's won a couple playoff games. Obviously, he's made it to the Super Bowl. I don't. So he might have 6 by himself right there. Justin Herbert's never won a playoff game. Lamar Jackson's won a few playoff games, we know, and Jalen Hurts has won a few playoff games. Okay, so I mean they probably got 15 total in that bunch, but 0 Super Bowls of the highest paid quarterback list here. Obviously Jalen lost in the Super Bowl. Goff's lost in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's lost in the Super Bowl. So 3 of them have at least been to the Super Bowl. I've said this for the last few weeks because I hate this next man up, money over. If I was a general manager and my quarterback came and asked me, hey, I want to be the highest paid quarterback in the league, I'd ask him, how many Super Bowls you got? Is it less or is it more than Patrick Mahomes? Is it more than Patrick Mahomes? That's what I would ask. And the answer to that question is no, it's not. He's got 4 or 3, could be 4 this year. Is it less than 3? Oh, it is. Oh, you don't even have none. You have 0. So we're supposed to pay you more than Patrick Mahomes? Hey, it's not my fault Patrick's taking side our deals to benefit his team. Why don't you take a script, page from his thing? I'm all about dudes getting their money. I really am. I believe everybody should get paid. We had the conversation this morning about Saquon. But if somebody we declare is the best quarterback in the league, he should always be the highest paid guy in the league. Then everybody else should falter under. That's just my thoughts. We'll get Johnny Cruz's thoughts. He's going to be joining me every Sunday night, as we have for the last 2 years for the most part. So he continues to join us as we kick off year 3 of these weekly reviews.
What's going on, bro? Happy to be here, of course, on this crazy ass week 1 of the NFL season. We talked about it this morning. Week 1 is the hardest week to predict because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. So it was a lot of sloppy play, a lot of weird games, some exciting games. At least for Dolphin fans, it was exciting. It was ugly for a long time, but it got exciting towards the end, and they found a way to win a game, even though they weren't playing well. So I'll take that. But a lot of craziness as far as the quarterbacks with the money. I'm with you. I didn't think Dak should have gotten the $40 million that he got a few years ago. I just didn't think he was worth it. But the market is the market. That's just the way the shit goes. But I'm with you as far as you're saying that the best quarterback in the world right now is making. I think he's like the 7th highest paid quarterback in the league, which is crazy. But he's doing what he's got to do so that his team can continue to pay players and he keeps winning Super Bowls. So that's all he cares about. Other guys want to make sure that they're the highest paid guys out there, and they can continue to be the highest paid guys out there and win absolutely nothing. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But I'm with you. I'm never going to hate on guys wanting to make that money. But, this whole thing where I have to be the highest paid at my position, even if you're clearly not the best player at that position is weird to me. But it is what it is, man. That's the way sports is.
Amen to that. It is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. But I'm just saying, as I go to, if I'm a team that's going to the negotiation timetable, it was a wild game. Saturday we learned a couple things. I think Panthers still absolutely stink. So I don't know if there's a sight, hope in sight for them. Man,
wow, that trade up with Chicago is just looking Bryce. Worse and worse.
Yeah,
every day, man. That's crazy, bro. Houston was in a battle today too, but their young quarterback and their young team found a way to win that game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers are getting their asses beat like every week, bro. It's like he don't even look like he belongs in the league, man. And I was hopeful for the kid to get a little better. I mean, it's week 1, so there's still a whole lot of season left to go, but that did not look good for Carolina today.
Yeah, let me. I'll share the screen here. We'll start there. Let me add the stage here. Let's see. So of course, something went wrong with my connection here. Let me try this again. I might just have to read the stats off. We'll just. Oh, there you go. Oh wait, let's do this.
There we go.
Hold on 1 second. I'll try to. I should have known. It's not going to allow me to do multiple things at one time, much less. All right, what are we doing here? All right, all right. Here we go. Let me scroll up here. All right, here we go. Saints Panthers. Let's try this again. I just want some stats.
All right.
If not, I'll there we go. All right, so let's get into it. Like I said, we were just talking about the Saints the Saints aren't good, but this is a team that's got playoff aspirations probably. Bryce Young, the Panthers absolutely stinks. 19 of 30, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was later replaced. This game wasn't really on. I was watching the red zone, so I never really saw the Panthers in the red zone. But from what I did see was Andy Dalton was in the game at one point or another. I don't know if I think they benched Bryce. Derek Carr, he's accurate as get out today. 19 of 23, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 5 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown. Adam Thielen, 3 receptions for 49 yards. Jonathan Mingo only had 2 receptions. Leggett had 4 receptions there. Then you get down to the I gotta click over here on the Saints. It's been a while since we've done this. Derek Carr, like I said, and then you got Alvin Kamara 15 for 83 and a touchdown. Jamal Williams 11 carries, 38 yards and a touchdown. Foster Moreau, touchdown. Juwan Johnson, Sheedy. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add besides the Panthers sucking. The Saints, they handled business today.
Yeah, absolutely. The Saints at home. It's a game that they're supposed to win. And not only did they win it, they absolutely dominated Carolina. So, you know what I'm saying? Props to Carr and the Saints for handling their business at home, and they're 1-0. They gotta have to do what they can to stay with Tampa Bay. So it's going to be interesting what happens in that division.
Yeah, let's get into the next one. Another blowout game. This is a game I thought was going to be close. I was predicting like 14, like 24, 17-14 type game. And I said it on the morning show when people were bitching about when I said people were talking about Saquon. I said Danny Dimes won't have it. Saquon scores 3 touchdowns with the Eagles on Friday night. I said Danny Dimes won't have 3 touchdowns total this game, whether it's rushing, passing, or receiving. And, I was right because they only scored 6 points, and they were blown out by the Minnesota Vikings, 28-6. Sam Darnold returns back to the MetLife, Johnny, 19 for 24, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones in his debut as a Viking, 14 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. What we could say, like, Justin Jefferson, or Sam Darnold, but he's never had a guy like Justin Jefferson. 4 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Jalen Naylor scored a touchdown in this game as well. I mean, there was nothing. The Giants, we get to the – I got to click the Giants. That's what I got to do. At the top. You get to the Giants, Danny Dimes, 22 of 42, only less than 200 yards passing, 2 interceptions. I mean, Malik Neighbors had 5 receptions in this game. That was it. But your thoughts on the absolute stink fest that was the New York Giants? I mean, here's the early turd of the week right here. It's the New York Giants.
Yeah, that's definitely an option for turd of the week. Not only the Giants, but you mentioned Danny Dimes. But I was with you with my, anticipation for a much closer game. I actually went as far as to make the dumbass mistake of picking the Giants to at least cover.
I think I did too,
which was dumb as hell. But props to Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold. I don't think he really got a really good opportunity with the Jets. They never put a good team around him. They definitely didn't build him a line at all. And he's forever going to be known for the whole, I'm seeing ghosts thing. But I thought he was going to have a good opportunity with Minnesota. When JJ got hurt, I thought he would, would basically be the equivalent of JJ, unless JJ was going to wind up being something special, which I wasn't too sure of. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does going down the rest of the season. But that's a hell of a way to start off. The Giants are just so bad, man. Like I was hopeful for them.
Addison's not out for the year. He just they said minor injury.
No, JJ McCarthy. I'm talking about JJ McCarthy.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, McCarthy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. McCarthy's out, so I figured Sam Darnold would basically be the equivalent of, of a rookie, quarterback. I figured he couldn't be any worse unless JJ McCarthy wound up being like this, phenomenal quarterback, which I wasn't sure of. But I'm glad that Sam Darnold's getting the opportunity. To play with Justin Jefferson. You got Addison there too. You got the tight end. So you got some good pieces there in Minnesota. Not for nothing, but Brian Flores is doing a great job with that defense. But the Giants is just it's just sad, bro. And listening to New York sports radio, as a Yankee fan, I hear a lot of stuff about the Jets and Giants and stuff like that. So I thought the Giants would be able to put a little something together. And again, the whole week 1 thing, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that maybe they can do something week 1, and they did absolutely nothing at all. They got embarrassed at home by a former player from the Jets. So typical Giants, man. It's crazy. I'm with Carlos on this one. The way they played today, they will be picking in the top 5 if
yeah, I mean, he's saying the Browns is more concerning, and we'll get to the Browns here later on. But you're probably right, Carlos. The Browns, I mean, man, Watson just did not look good again today. We'll get to that game here in a little bit. But let's get to what I think the shocker of the day was. All the way up until almost kickoff, I had the Bengals as my lock of the day in a survivor pool, and I changed it out. Higgins, the Chase thing, I thought things would go differently. And sure enough, the Patriots pull off the shocker, 16-10. Jacoby Brissett didn't win you the game. He didn't lose you the game either. 15-24, 121 yards. Ramondre, 25 carries, 120 yards, and 1 touchdown. My dumb ass had him sitting on the fantasy bench. And then you get to the Bengals. The Bengals could just never get going. Joe Burrow, only 21 to 29, only 164 yards. Zach Moss, 9 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. Jamar Chase did have 6 for 62. You'll take that. There was no Higgins out there. This team, the Bengals always start slow, and here they are again, Johnny, losing week 1. Kudos to Gerard. This could be Gerard Mayo and the Patriots getting a win here to make it 16-10 in a game that nobody gave them any chance to win.
Yeah, I unlike you was not smart enough to change my pick at the last minute. I did have the damn Cincinnati Bengals as my survivor pick, so I already lost the first game. So I'm saying this is my first time ever playing in a survivor pool, so I'm off to a hell of a start.
Season's over. Season's over.
Yeah. So cool. I don't have to worry about paying attention to that shit no more. But I'm fine with that. I got fantasy leagues and shit that I got to worry about. Making sure I don't bench the wrong players, because holy shit, have I had a bad first week. But the Cincinnati Bengals do tend to start off slow, but it was like a last second. I had to hurry up and make a pick, and I was like, well, fuck it. Cincinnati should be able to take care of New England. And of course, New England finds a way to win this game. Like you mentioned, Jacoby Brissett did just enough to lead the team. It was a typical, New England type game. They ran the ball.
Him and Joe Burrow had the same stat line. Damn near.
Right. Which is crazy to think, but I didn't take into account the T. Higgins thing and the Jamar Chase drama and stuff like that or whatever. But I just thought New England was just I just figured Cincinnati would be able to score enough points to make it happen, but clearly not. New England did what they had to do. Props to Gerard Mayo getting his first ever victory. Ramondre, they rode him all the way to the finish line. I know Cincinnati couldn't get a lot of things going, but it was a close game. They could have ran the ball a little bit more. For Chase Brown to only get 3 carries, was a little interesting there, but I didn't watch the game to see exactly how it all unfolded, but kudos to
the Patriots are winning most of that
game. They were winning from jump. I saw it on the scroll at the bottom when I was watching the Dolphin game. They jumped up to an early lead and basically held on, for the rest of the game there. So it's just one game or whatever, but I don't know. The Browns gotta figure some stuff out, man, over there, or there's gonna be some serious problems. But New England fans, I wouldn't get too excited about it. It was a good first week victory or whatever. On the road too as well. So props, for that. So, but big ups to Gerard Mayo. Getting his first win.
Yeah, and another guy who got his first win today was Justin Fields as a Steeler. They went 18-10. It was really the defense. This was a typical Justin Fields type game. 17-23 yards, 156 yards, no touchdowns. I believe all 18 points from the Steelers were. Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown.
They were all field goals.
I think it was all special teams and field goals.
Safeties.
Yeah. So they win 18-10 that way. Najee had 20 carries, 70 yards. George Pickens did have 6 for 85. It was a typical Justin Fields game. I felt like every time they turned to that game, he was getting sacked. Kirk Cousins, 16-26, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Again, they paid him a lot of money to not throw pick or to play well, and he didn't. Bijan had 18 for 68. Also caught 5 balls. Kyle Pitts had 3 and a touchdown. So nonetheless, though, the Steelers win here 18-10.
I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers just seem to find a way. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tomlin always has that team prepared. They always play good defense. I did want to ask, can somebody who wasn't active be the turd of the week? You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson is inactive, but my man is on the sideline with shoulder pads on. Like, bro. Like, you're saying, like, that was such a, you're saying, like, bro, that was so lame and whack, bro. Like, why do you have shoulder pads on? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're inactive, you're not playing. Just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, wear the headset or whatever so you can, hear what's going on and try to support Justin.
I didn't know he had the shoulder pads on. He had shoulder
pads on and shit. Like, he wanted to feel like he was part of the team, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Even though you inactive, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that seemed like such a douchey move right there. You know what I'm saying?
That's Russ Wilson for you. He's about as
right. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's gonna do it, I guess it's Russ.
That's on brand. That's on brand for Russ.
Right. But no, Mike Tomlin does what his team is always prepared. They always play good defense. You know what I'm saying? And saying props to Justin Fields. Doing what he had to do to do just enough for them to win a game. You know what I'm saying? He didn't throw for that many yards. He had some good runs. And the Steelers, again, they find a way to win games, bro. So props to Mike Tomlin and that whole organization, bro.
Yeah, you're right. They always find some way to win a game. That defense looked really good again. So we'll see who starts next week, whether it's Fields or Russ. I didn't think Fields looked great, but I don't. Who knows what? If Russ can come back, what they'll look like that way. And I think that's fair enough to let's get a look at both on meaningful teams. You know what I mean? Meaningful games.
All right.
We'll see what happens. Long season to go. I thought this might have been, especially in the early window, the game of the day. The Texans-Colts. Colts just would not go away. We talked about it a little bit this morning. The Texans are, AFC Championship, Super Bowl type caliber team. CJ Stroud went 24-32, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon. They ran 30 carries, 159 yards. 1 touchdown. Like, to give that man 30 carries is insane, but they did it. They just kept running it. Nico Collins, 6 for 117. Stephon Diggs, 6 for 33, 2 touchdowns. Tank Dell had 3 catches as well. You look at the Colts here. Anthony Richardson, 2, he didn't throw a lot, 9 of 19, 212 yards. Some of his throws, he can throw it 1.5 miles, I swear.
Yeah, he's got an absolute cannon.
Yeah, he's got a cannon. You could see in that in the game. It's a little inaccurate, and that hopefully will come along as long as he keeps playing and stays healthy. But 2 touchdowns. He also ran for a touchdown. 6 carries for 56 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 16 for 48 yards and a touchdown. Alec Pierce, 3 balls, 125 and a touchdown. Ashton Doolin had 1 for 54 and a touchdown. So Johnny, your thoughts here as the Texans win this one in a close one. It was just back and forth all game. Texans win, 29-27.
Yeah, good teams find a way to win games, even if they're not playing all that well. You know what I'm saying? They literally rode the hot hand there with Joe Mixon to the victory there. One of the first, scoring plays was the 60-yard bomb by Anthony Richardson, which, again, displayed the cannon of an arm that he has, but he still has a lot to develop as far as his accuracy. He's just way inaccurate. He ran the ball well because that's what he can do. But it worries me, man, how long he's going to be able to last. With all the running that he does. I don't know how many games, the Colts are going to wind up winning. I hope he lasts the whole season so that he can continue to develop because he's fun to watch. But Houston is
he only had 12 starts at Florida too or something like that. So he hasn't even Like,
Yeah, I don't think he's had all that many. Yeah, I don't think he kind of hasn't played that much football, to be quite honest, over the
yeah,
last few years or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully he can develop his passing game a little bit better. Say because he's not going to survive running as much as he does. They got some good weapons there for him. Say Pittman's a good player. So they got some good player, Jonathan Taylor. But I don't know. I mean, Houston's going to be fun to watch this year, man. Like they definitely put some pieces around C.J. Stroud. They definitely added from what they were able to do last year. You know what I'm saying? They surprised a lot of people last year. This year they're playing with a first place schedule, so it's gonna get a little harder for them. But you know what I'm saying? They got all the right pieces, and if Stephon Diggs can honestly just be quiet and just accept his role as a
the right
complimentary
thing by
type
him today.
player,
Let's get him
right? You know what I'm
let's get him
saying?
some
I mean,
touchdowns.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think he'll be happy if he's not getting as many targets and as many catches as he normally wants to, but he's still scoring a touchdown or two, you know what I'm saying, and they're winning the game. I think he'll be content, hopefully. But they just have a plethora of weapons there, and CJ Stroud is just getting better and better each game, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Houston could do. But it was a nice back and forth game. I thought Houston was gonna run away with it there for a minute, but yeah, Indy just kept on fighting and clawing their way back into the game. So it was a lot more entertaining than I expected it to be.
Yeah, it was a back and forth. This game was pretty good to hear too. The Cardinals, Bills pulled away late. Kyler Murray was 21 to 30, 31, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. James Conner, 16 for 50 and a touchdown. I mean, only 1 catch here today for Marvin Harrison for 4 yards. I mean, you got to get him involved. Like he's going to be, he's too good. Probably not the debut that he wanted. Josh Allen does Josh Allen things. 18 and 23, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also ran for 2 touchdowns, 9 carries, 39 yards. He got all 4 touchdowns there. Kahil Shakir, 3 for 42 and a touchdown. Keon Coleman, 4 for 51. Mac Hollins had the other touchdown. Your thoughts on I mean, the Bills, I think this is how the Bills are going to have to win, Johnny. It's just, kind of win ugly. Hopefully we can score a lot of points until that defense gets some more maturity about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I'm not going to front, obviously, as a Dolphin fan, when I saw the early score, I was like, yeah, come on, Arizona, pull this, pull this upset out. And they seem to make some plays and stuff like that. But then once Buffalo kind of got their legs underneath them, Josh Allen does what he does. You say he's gonna make the horrible play every once in a while with his interceptions, but you can't deny the fact that he's a playmaker, man. Not only with his arm but with his legs. There was so much talk about him losing his receivers, but he still has the 2 incredible tight ends. He's got some young receivers that they're going to develop. James Cook is an absolute weapon out of the backfield there. And again, his legs are always going to be an asset to him. So I'm not surprised that they won the game. I was hopeful that Arizona was going to pull out the upset, but Buffalo did what they had to do. They came back and handled their business. But yeah, it's going to be ugly games for Buffalo until that defense comes together. But Josh Allen is he's a top 5 quarterback for a reason, and he did what he had to do for his team to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't understand the hate that Josh Allen gets. Like, people just like, I feel like he gets a lot of hate, and I'm like, dude, this dude can play. Like, he is a dog, like that I would want on my football team. Is he the most accurate at times? No, but man, like, he's gonna give it his everything he got.
It just seems like people and I think the media has something to do with it at times too. Is they pick and choose the players that they like and don't like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like no matter what they do, they're gonna be hated on, even if they're they're good players and they say they work hard or whatever. And then some guys are gonna get all the love, even if they're they're not as good or whatever. It just I don't know. It just seems to be that way for some reason. He caught a lot of slack his first 2 years because of his inaccuracy or whatever, but he's developed. He's worked on his craft. He's gotten better. They were giving all the props to Stephon Diggs the last few years as far as his jump and improvement. But obviously he put the work in and he got better. Now post Diggs, he's still that dude. And he's a big kid. I would assume at some point, he's not going to be able to continue to run the way he does, because he doesn't run and get out of bounds much, or he doesn't slide. Like, he looks for contact. He's a big kid, and he plays football. That aggressive style or whatever. But he's a quarterback that I would want on my team. If I was in that position, but I hate the fact that he's in my division as well, because he has absolutely dominated the Dolphins since he's gotten here, and we get to see him in 4 days.
He is an absolute beast. Let's get into a guy who started his career today, and that was Caleb Williams. The Bears win 24-17. The Titans over our guys, Sam's Titans. Titans were up 17-0 here and absolutely collapse, and the Bears come back to win 24-17. You look at Will Levis, man, he had some awful interceptions. It was about one, he was about to get sacked and just kind of throws it, and well, you know what happens next. 19 of 32, 121 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Tony Pollard, 16 for 82 and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley had 3 for 50. And then you get to the Bears. Caleb Williams didn't really impress either, Johnny. Only 93 yards passing, 14 of 29, 93 yards passing. He ran for 5 for 15. Their offense didn't do absolutely anything. It was all special teams and defense. Here's how this Bears won this game. That's how the Bears usually win. But when you got all this talent that you invested in on offense, they didn't score. Their offense didn't score a single touchdown. So they got to figure that out, and they're gonna have to get better. But on a side note, Caleb Williams is the first number 1 overall pick to win Week 1. Since 2002, and that was David Carr.
Well, and we all know how his career went, so let's hope it doesn't mirror that. But you know what? So damn, this game was literally thrown away by Will Levis. Because if the Chicago Bears offense did absolutely nothing, and you lose a 17-point lead, those turnovers had to be backbreakers. So it sucks. Sucks for Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. Sorry, Sam, for because they were up 17-0, and I was because that's one of the ones where I picked Tennessee in our picks as well, because I thought they would be able to do some stuff there, and it looked good at the beginning, but an absolute shit show, to be honest, by Will Levis there in the second half, to just let Chicago basically come back without having to do anything offensively. It is insane to me, but Chicago's going to have to get their stuff right if they want to continue to win games. They're not going to keep winning games based on just special teams and defense. That's not how this league is built. So Caleb Williams is definitely going to have to throw for more than 93 yards in a game if they're going to win games. But yeah, it's a little wild that their offense was that inept, and they still found a way to score 24 points and win that game. So.
Exactly, but a win's a win. You'll take it either way if you're a Bears fan. You know what I mean? But you invested. Man, Johnny, it was a wild day in Miami. Not just on the field, but off the field. Your boy Tyreek gets arrested before the game. I believe there was a defensive player that was with him, right?
Yes. Tyreek, he wasn't arrested. He was apprehended, for a traffic citation.
Yeah,
he was put face down on the ground. He was handcuffed. Then while he was handcuffed and he was talking to the police, another officer either kicked him or kneed him or something like that to get him back down to the ground, which it was all caught on video. It's going to be crazy what happened there. And Calais Campbell came to kind of see what was going on or whatever. He wound up getting handcuffed for disobeying an order is what they said. So that just sounds all kinds of wrong.
They must have been Jags fans for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I said it jokingly. I was like, "What are these? Are these Jacksonville State troopers that are down here in disguise? In disguise?" Because it was just a crazy scene to hear about that. On social media before the game even starts, and then it had to have affected him. You could see that they got off to a kind of a slow start. The Dolphins did offensively. It was not a good game for them offensively in the first half. Just kind of off and just making mistakes. Jacksonville, got off to a 14-point lead. The Dolphins, kick a field goal to make it 14. Actually, they go down the field before halftime and score a touchdown. So you think, all right, but they kick it off with less than a minute and let Jacksonville go down the field in 2 plays and kick a field goal to take a 10-point lead going into the half with Jacksonville getting the ball back. And then the second half just started the same with the defense, shut them down in the second half. Yeah, they shut them down in the second half. The offense, still was kind of, methodical and not really making that many plays. We finally, the Jacksonville Jaguars were actually driving down the field with less than 2 minutes left, with about 2:30 left, about to score. And Javon Holland, with one of the best defensive plays, knocks the ball out of Travis Etienne's hands, like at the 5-yard line, because he was about to walk into the end zone. The Dolphins jump on it. Excuse me. The very next play, Tua hits Tyreek Hill for 80-yard touchdown, and just the momentum swing was just insane in that game. So it was a lot of back and forth. So it was a crazy ending to the game. Jason Sanders missed a 42-yard field goal by like 25 miles to the left, but then hits a 52-yarder to end the game, to win the game. At the very end. So it was a very up and down game, but it was a hard fought game. It was an ugly game, but I'd rather them win an ugly game than to lose a pretty game, I guess. So they found a way to win the game. Ultimately, considering the way that the day started was just insane to me. So it's a lot of emotions. Like that's I don't know if you've ever been pulled over or whatever, but those
types of things.
I was about to say you may not have had to deal with that, but it could be traumatic. Especially when you get put face down and then handcuffed or whatever, and you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And like he mentioned in the post game press conference, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? What would have happened? So. It's just crazy to think that that's the way the day started for the Miami Dolphins, but they ended off with a W. The defense did what they had to do at the end of that game to win that game. Jalen Phillips coming back, in less than 10 months from tearing his Achilles with a huge sack late in that fourth quarter to stop the Jacksonville drive. So I'm happy with my team finding a way to win the game. That they were not playing well at all most of that game, even though Tua wound up with some decent numbers. It was not a pretty game, but they found a way to win the game, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, let's get into the numbers real quick. I mean, to me, man, I say this, I don't know if I've ever been higher on a player and he's just turned out to be absolute dog shit. And I don't want to say Trevor Lawrence is dog shit, but he is not nowhere near what I thought he was gonna be. Only 12 of 21, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. Like the weapons they got, you think that they would be able to score in the second half, and they just didn't. So kudos to your Dolphins defense. 12 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown by Etienne, 4 for 47 and a touchdown by Brian Thomas Jr., 3 for 62. You look at your Dolphins, they did get it going in the second half, it felt like. Tua, 23 of 37, 338 yards, 1 touchdown. Devon Achane, 10 for 24 and a touchdown. Jeff Wilson had 5 for 26. Raheem Mostert 6 for 9. It seems like they are gonna spread that out a little bit. The rookie didn't get any carries though.
He was actually inactive, which was surprising.
Okay. Tyreek 7 of 130 and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle 5 for 109. So I mean, and a bunch of other guys had some nice catches, but Dolphins win 20 to 17. the game, was just wild. What happened, before? You're thinking, when I first saw it, was like Tyreek got arrested or detained, I guess. I was like, oh, shit, he's going to miss the game. Then he's back at the field. So,
right. Yeah, it was just a crazy, you know what I'm saying, situation, from beginning to end there. It was just, like you didn't know what the hell was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like you said, was he going to miss the game? What you know saying? Like what could he have, you know what I'm saying? Was he doing donuts out in the street? You know what I'm saying?
I guess
you know
he was
how
doing like 115 or something like this, what I was
right,
told.
you know what I'm saying? You know how traffic
Yeah.
traffic is when you're going into a football game. It's like it's bumper to bumper. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what? He went through an area where he probably figured he can go because he's a player to try to get to the stadium, and you're gonna make that much of an issue out of it. And like that was just a complete horror show right there. So I hope that, you know what I'm saying, I hope that justice is served, and if, you know what I'm saying, if people did do some dirty shit, that they do get in trouble for it, because that's just not right, man.
Yeah. Let's get into the next one. We had Denver and Seattle. Seattle wins 26-20. Their coach gets his first ever NFL head coaching win. Look at the stats here. Bo Nix, 1 for 38, 2 interceptions. Did have a nice run to pull this game into within 6. He had 5 for 35 and a touchdown. I mean, where was Javonte Williams? 8 for 23. They didn't really have Devon Vele had 8 for 39, led the way. Cortland Sutton, 4 for 38 here. You look at the Seahawks, Geno Smith, 18 for 25, 171 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They ran the crap out of Kenneth Walker, the third, 20 carries, 103 yards, 1 touchdown. Geno also ran in 1. Tyler Lockett, 6 for 77. DK Metcalf was pretty shut down all day by Patrick Surtain, one of the best corners in the league. Seattle wins, though, 26-20. Bo Nix, not great, but not good either in this game as well. Your thoughts here on Seattle-Denver?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of this game there, and it just seemed like Denver just couldn't get anything going. If you notice a lot of these stats on the teams that lost, it's a lot of 19 for 20 for 30 something, and 20 something, 40 something. Right, and they're barely throwing for any yards, but yet they're throwing the ball 40 plus times. And then in that one, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was more than a 6-point game towards the end until Bo Nix made a couple plays or whatever to cut it to 6. But for the most of the part in the second half, at least, they were playing a lot of catch up. Geno Smith, an efficient game for him, doing what he had to do. Seattle doing what they needed to do to win the game, ran the ball well. Like you mentioned, DK Metcalf getting locked down, but Tyler Lockett is, again, you love to say this line, but one of the most underrated players in the league. He is definitely one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? He always seems to come through for his team or whatever. So that was a big win for Seattle at home. Week 1 messed me up. My dumbass picked Denver to cover that game there as well. So yeah, my picks I was not good. I'm glad I didn't bet any money, because I would have lost all my shit this week. That's why I don't mess with week 1, bro. You know what I'm saying? But because you never know what the hell is gonna happen. But Denver, you know what I'm saying, I thought they were gonna at least attempt to run the ball a little bit more than they did, but Seattle did what they had to do on defense and forced them to have to throw the ball, and then the rookie made some mistakes.
Yeah, let's get into the next game here. The Chargers win 22-10 over the Raiders. The Chargers, Jim Harbaugh gets his first head coaching win as a Charger head coach. Gardner Minshew, 25 of 33, 257 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Zamir White, 13 for 44. Devontae had 5 for 59. Madison had the lone touchdown here for the Raiders. And then they get the Chargers. Justin Herbert, 17 to 26, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. They kind of had a split backfield here, 10 carries for 135 for J.K. Dobbins, 11 for 26 for Gus. Ladd McConkey, 5 for 39 in a touchdown as they try to refill this new offense for the Chargers. But Chargers win here 22-10. I'll tell you what, the places when it was on there, it felt like it was a Raiders home game, but Chargers win at home.
Yeah, that's pretty much the story of the Chargers franchise, wherever they're located at. They never have home field advantage, it seems like. But yeah, that was a crazy game too. I was actually in the car for a bit of that game, so I was listening to it on the radio. And it just didn't seem like the Raiders could get anything going. And the Chargers didn't seem to be as effective, as they were until the end there, where the J.K. Dobbins broke off a couple of long runs or whatever to get them into scoring position and to score a couple touchdowns to give them that lead. Their defense did what they had to do. The Raiders, again, I don't know how far you can go with Gardner Minshew. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it didn't seem like he was bad, but he just doesn't seem to be good enough to win a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? He'll win a game here or there, but to be your starting quarterback for the whole season, I just don't see that.
O'Connell, and I'll take my chances with Minshew.
Well, I mean, and the thing is that Aiden O'Connell played all right last year. You know what I'm saying? So why not?
Minshew played a lot better. I like Minshew still.
Well, okay. So, I mean, like I said, it's just week one, so we don't know. But I don't think the Chargers did anything great in that game, and they still won comfortably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens the rest of the season. But there's no doubt in my mind that obviously Kansas City is going to own the West. For all the people that were talking about, oh, there's going to be 3 teams in the West making the play. Stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? If week one is in any indication, it's just going to be KC and that's it. But we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Going down the road here. But that was just it just seemed like such a blah game, except like I said, for those couple of big runs by J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, who both of them with Baltimore.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
So Jim Harbaugh was like, yeah, I'm going to take these 2 running backs and we're just going to run the ball like crazy. And, you know what I'm saying, Justin Herbert, we're paying you $50-something million. Just don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, you're right. And he did. Right. Speaking of a mistake, the Browns might be realizing they made a mistake with Deshaun Watson. Cowboys roll into Cleveland 33-17. Dak Prescott, we talked about getting the big contract before, 19 of 32, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Zeke had 10 for 40 and a touchdown. It was their defense that really led the way, though. CeeDee Lamb, 5 for 61. Brandon Cooks, 4 for 40 and a touchdown. I mean, and then you get to the Browns here. Deshaun Watson, 24 45, 169 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And they're paying him a lot of money, for guaranteed money too.
Right.
12 carries, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. And then you look at Amari Cooper only had 2 receptions. David Njoku, 4 for 44. I mean, the Cowboys roll here after Dax, gets his thing. I mean, I was all in on the Browns, and they just didn't show up today.
Yeah, I'm with you again. I'm glad that I didn't put any money on this shit because I picked the Browns as well. I thought defensively that would keep them in the game. And, with all the offensive weapons they have, I thought they'd be able to do something. Their offensive line is a pretty good offensive line. Deshaun Watson he just ain't him anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not the same guy. And they, you know what I'm saying, that, like you mentioned, they guaranteed him all that fucking money, and he is playing like absolute crap right now. It was an ugly game. It was not any fun to watch that game at all. It was, Dallas just completely dominated them. The defense just completely shut them down. Some horrible interceptions. Those interceptions were horrible too from Deshaun. And it's not like he's you know what I'm saying? Some of the other guys that had similar stats were rookies at least, or young players. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a vet and you're playing like this shitty with that much talent. And then Jerry Jeudy gets a touchdown and jumps and does the Lambeau leap in Cleveland. Like, bro, you're down 27 points. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But if that's the type of people that you have in your organization, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how successful Cleveland's going to be. I know that they did a wonderful job with you know what I'm saying, with all the quarterback injuries they had last year, making it to the playoffs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they can do that again this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Cleveland, especially in that division with the way Pittsburgh finds a way to win games. And then you got Baltimore in there, and I'm pretty sure Cincinnati's going to turn it around. So it's going to be interesting what happens in the North in the AFC this year, man. But that first week was just horrible, bro. That was a horrible game to watch.
The Steelers were the only team to win, right? In
that
division.
Yeah. Yep.
Bengals lost, Ravens lost, Browns lost. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get into our final game here. I'll tell you what. I mean, book me as Baker MVP right now. I mean, the way he played today, 24-30, 289 yards, not one, not two, not three, but 4 touchdowns, 37-20. Bucks rolled. Bucky Irving, 19 carries. Rashad White, 15 for 31. And I'll say it again, Johnny. Mike Evans is the most underrated player in the NFL. 5 for 61. Not one, but 2 touchdowns today. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
I was literally just thinking that, bro. I was literally just thinking, bro, he's a Hall of Fame player. I'm with you.
Yes.
Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Chris Godwin, 8 for 83, 1 touchdown. Jameel McMillan had a touchdown as well. You get to the Commanders here. Jaden Daniels, nothing much in the passing game. 17-24, only 184 yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 16-88, and 2 touchdowns that way. Brian Robinson Jr. had a touchdown, 12 for 40. Also caught 3 balls. Terry McLaurin was really nowhere to be found today, 2 for 17. But your thoughts here on our final game, Bucks Commanders?
Yeah, happy for my Bucks friends that are down here in Tampa. You say I hear a lot about Tampa. You know what I'm saying, living in that area. So you say that I do. You saying root for them. I ain't gonna front. I wasn't happy that Tom Brady came down here, and you know what I'm saying, but I was happy for my my Bucks friends that they got themselves a Super Bowl. But fuck Tom Brady anyway. But no, I'm happy for Baker Mayfield, not for nothing. I'm with you on Mike Evans. I mean, he just continues to do it year in and year out. It don't matter who's throwing him the rock. He's going to make plays. Chris Godwin is one of the more underrated, number 2s in this league. I mean,
the Browns got to be looking at Baker, what he's doing right now. Baker's the better player than Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was a coaching thing or what it was, but shout out to Todd Bowles and what he's been able to do down here in Tampa. The team absolutely loves him. The area loves him. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be those critics of coaches, you know what I'm saying? Because, every fan base has it. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, Todd Bowles, good man, good coach. He sticks by his players. He's always got his team prepared. The defense he's always ready to make plays. He's always got the defense ready to go. The offense, he's got plenty of playmakers on that offense. I don't know about MVP Baker Mayfield, but so when we made our picks, I picked Tampa Bay to win this division more because the division itself is kind of But you know what I'm saying, Tampa Bay is actually a pretty good team. They got some good pieces, and like I said, I'll take their coach over any of the other coaches in that division. So I like what Tampa Bay is putting together, and you know what I'm saying, like I could see them double-digit wins and easily winning this division.
Yeah, I mean they look good today. Johnny, it's time before we wrap up the show here. It's our everybody's favorite segment of the week. We'll start with turd of the week. Who is your turd of the week for NFL Week 1?
Well, there were definitely a lot of nominees for this today, but I'm going to go with the $250 million guaranteed man and Mr. Watson himself from Cleveland. You threw his numbers out before, 24, 45, 169, 1 touchdown, 2 horrible interceptions, missing wide open guys, rolling out on some plays on third downs. And you know what I'm saying, you don't even throw the ball up to try to give your team a chance. He's just taking sacks. Like he played like an inexperienced guy who is just there to catch cash a paycheck, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because he is doing nothing for that team as far as what it looks like to me, as far as the highlights I saw from that game. So yeah, Deshaun Watson, Mr. Massage himself, is my turd of the week.
Yeah, my turd of the week is none other than the New York Football Giants. Whether it was their defense, 20, giving up 28. You got Sam Darnold out here looking like he's, an All-Pro quarterback. You only score 6 points, and this is a team that let Saquon Barkley leave, and Saquon outscored the Giants by himself. So the Giants absolutely stink. The organization stinks. They stink. 28-6. They had. I mean, the New York Football Giants are my turd of the week.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones was actually number 2 on my list here, but I had, he's only making $40 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's making more than that. And Daniel Jones is garbage, but he doesn't have nearly the talent around him that Deshaun Watson does. And Deshaun Watson is still playing like shit. So that's why Deshaun Watson. But yeah, you can give it to the whole freaking NYG organization, bro, because it's just not looking good, man. Again, it's just week 1, so you try not to overreact. But that was an embarrassment at home too.
Yeah, and to a team where I think most people thought they could hang with.
Yeah, especially with Sam Darnold being the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? He went back to MetLife, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, he didn't have a great game, but he had a very good game. You know what I'm saying? He played well. He made the plays he needed to play, and you know what I'm saying, he needed to make or whatever, and they absolutely dominated them. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're definitely deserving of a big fat turd.
Who is your dog of the week?
I know there's guys out there that had more statistics or better statistics than him, but my dog is going to be to Mr. Tyreek Hill, the cheetah himself, going through the trauma and the embarrassment and the shit that he had to go through before the game with the getting pulled over for a traffic infraction, and you get face planted onto the ground, you get handcuffed, you get possibly assaulted by one of the officers there. Then you got to go in and play a football game, and what do? You put up 7 catches for 130 yards and a huge touchdown to turn all the momentum around in that game and to help your team with a big-time win in week 1, even though the team wasn't playing well. So Tyreek Hill is my dog of the week. 7 catches, like I said, 130 and a touchdown.
Yeah, my my dog of the week, when you replace a legendary head coach in Bill Belichick, and then you draft a rookie, and you're playing the Bengals week 1 and nobody gives you any sort of hope, and you go into Cincinnati, you got your team to prepare with Jacoby Brissett at the quarterback, and you stop the Bengals. You limit the Bengals to 10 points today for the most part, and you run it down the throat. You get your first NFL career replacing an NFL head coach. DeMeco Ryans is my NFL week 1.
Jared Mayo.
Oh, Jared Mayo. Sorry. Jared, what did I say? DeMeco Ryans.
He said DeMeco. That was last year.
Jared Mayo is my NFL week 1 dog of the week for getting the Patriots a win in Cincinnati, having the boys rallied up and replacing Bill Belichick. Not too many people can do that, and Gerard Mayo gets it done. My NFL week 1 dog of the week.
Yeah, definitely well deserved. You mentioned it, having his team prepared to go. You're saying they had a good defensive game plan, and they did what they had to do on offense to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Jacoby Brissett didn't make it. He managed the game, and they rolled their big ass back in Ramondre Stevenson, and you know what I'm saying, and shut down Cincinnati in Cincinnati, man. So that's a well-deserving dog of the week.
I could have gave it to Baker and a couple other guys, but when you replace a legendary head coach and you do what they did today, I didn't feel like very many people gave him a chance to win, and they did that. So
no, that's definitely well deserved. That's a good one.
Johnny, before we get out of here, any final thoughts about week 1 and what you got going on the rest of the week?
No, again, week 1 is one of those crazy, you know what I'm saying, weeks to predict anything because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. You can get, you know what I'm saying, handcuffed and thrown to the ground before the game even starts. That's how crazy week 1 is in the NFL. You never know what's going to happen. So, again, don't get too up and too down. with week one. If your team found a way to win, cool. If your team didn't win week one, again, it's just week one. You know what I'm saying? Next week is a new week and a new opportunity to make amends for whatever happened this week. But you know what I'm saying? Some interesting games. I'm glad the Dolphins pulled it out. Just want to shout out, Byron and Alex, the Dolphin Chronicles on the Kendall Sports Network tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. We'll recap that big Dolphins win. Again, I'm starting this new position tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be done working by 7:30, so I may not be on the show, but even if I'm not, definitely check them out. Again, it's the Kendall Sports Network, the Dolphin Chronicles, where we will discuss all things Miami Dolphins, and we'll recap the first game against the Jaguars. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I'm just gonna get ready to see what's going on with the Lions Rams before I take my ass to sleep. But I don't have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning anymore.
Yeah,
so that's nice.
3-3 right now in the early parts of the second quarter. So I don't really have anything else. It was a good week one. Let's not season's not over fantasy wise. Season's not over for fan wise. So unless you're maybe the Panthers or the Giants.
Panthers, Giants. Yes.
So I don't know what you take away.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell y'all. But y'all probably knew that going in.
There's
there's no surprise. There's no surprise to you guys.
It looks bad. Nonetheless, please check out the morning dump we did this morning. Put a lot of fun. So. We talk all things sports, life, movie, music, whatever it is. So other than that, we'll be back on the LTS show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. Why we'll be. So we'll catch you later, folks. I'm going to hit that outro. Y'all have a good week, and we'll catch you next Sunday night for NFL Week 2 recap.